Hey, this is journal page 306, lesson 13.3. And it says, the amount P in dollars that you earn by working H hours is represented by the equation P equals 9H. Graph the equation and interpret the slope. So P equals 9H. So the dollars will be going up here. This is where our Y value goes. So it goes on the Y axis. We'll put dollars over here. And down here, this will be our hours. Another reason that hours goes down here is because it's the independent variable. The amount you earn is dependent on the hours. Hours isn't dependent on anything. Just keep rolling along. Okay, so we will graph or make a little table here. And X, Y, remember that's how our ordered pairs go. And X goes here and Y goes here. And really for our X, this is in hours. And for our Y, this is in dollars. So when we put in, let's just put in 1 hour, or let's put 0 hours. Okay, our equation is P equals 9H. If we put in 0 hours, 9 times 0 is 0. So the dollars that you would get would be 0. So this line goes through 0, 0, which we knew because it's direct variation is what we're learning about. We can't go into negative hours, so I can't put a -1 here, but I can put 1. If I put 1 in for hours, 9 times 1 is 9, so P would equal 9. So another point we have is 1, 9. Let's do one more. We'll go to 2. And if we put 2 in for hours, 9 times 2 is 18. We'd get $18. 218 is another one. So we'll plot those. 0, 0 is here. 1, 9. So we'll have to kind of estimate. It'll be just a little under the 10 mark. 218 will be a little more under the mark than the 9 was. And then draw that line. So here we go. We'll put an arrowhead on this side, but it stops right there. So actually we're drawing that ray, but whatever. Okay, and then it says graph the equation, did, and interpret the slope. So what does that slope mean? That 9, remember, this is y equals mx form, where m is the slope, so that's where the 9 falls right there. That's our slope. So slope equals 9, and it equals 9 what? Well, 9 y over x, and in this case, dollars over hours. So $9 per hour. $9 per hour. Or you could write it $9 per hour like that. Excellent. The next problem says the cost C in dollars to rent a bicycle is proportional to the number of hours that you rent the bicycle. It costs $20 to rent the bicycle for 4 hours. So we know same kind of a problem where it's going to be y equals mx, but in place of y we're using C. And in place of x, we're using h for hours. And they told us that the cost is $20 if you rent it for 4 hours. So we can put that in here, $20 for 4 hours. And now we can use this to figure out what the slope would be. Now I know we can just look at that and say, oh yeah, that must be a 5 because that's the only way we can, 5 times 4 is how we get 20. But what we'll do is we'll divide both sides by 4. And get m equals 5. So our slope is 5. Now we use that m value and we go back into our equation here and we can write C equals 5h. That's our equation. Okay, so we use the values they gave us to find out what our slope would be, our m value, and then we go back to the equation and we can plug in our m value. Write an equation that represents the situation. C equals 5h is our equation. Interpret the slope. Well, the slope is right here, 5. 5 what though? $5 per hour. So $5 per hour. How much does it cost to rent the bicycle for 6 hours? And I know if it's $5 per hour, we can just multiply by 6 and we know it's $30, but let's use our equation. It's the only time we'll get to use it, so might as well use it. So C equals 5h, and they're telling us it's 6 hours now. C equals 5 times 6. C equals 30, which we already knew, but now I just feel good because I got to use my handy dandy equation. Excellent. Well, hopefully this homework didn't take too long. Like I said, it is a throwback to a lesson that we did earlier this year talking about direct variation. The big difference here is now we're not calling it y equals kx, we're calling it y equals mx, and we're identifying m as the slope of our line, and we'll be needing that for future lessons. See ya!